What's going on, Laker fans? I appreciate you guys being a part of the show. Um, we got an L. Let's try it. It worked for a couple of games, so might as well let's try it again. We'll switch out the hat. Next in the rotation is the championship hat from 2020. Appreciate you guys being a part of the show. Lakers lose to the Denver Nuggets. Had some chances there to win the game. Never had a lead, but got close enough where it looked like the Lakers had a real chance of actually still in that game. And 8-0 run. Was it 8 or 10-0? Might have been 10-0 by Denver late in the game. Just ended it. Jamal Murray, 5-0 run on his own. Michael Porter Jr. Hits a three in the corner when Austin Reeves gambles. And next thing you know, it's a tie game. Crypto is feels like a playoff vibe. And then the Lakers are down by double digits. So that happened really quick. Got a lot to get into. We'll spend some time, obviously, talking about the game, some positives and some negatives. I don't know if Laker fans want to hear me talk about positives on an L, but I think there were some positives in the game tonight. Also, want to spend some time talking about the injuries, more injuries. D'Lo did not play in the game tonight. Max Christie turns an ankle. He left the game, didn't come back. How much of an excuse is the injuries? I keep hearing a lot about the injuries, a lot. They're not wrong, but I still don't think many people are crazy about hearing about them. We'll spend some time talking about the Lakers doing nothing at the trade deadline. Pelinka quotes was there for his interview, asked him a question about the type of player they want in the buyout market. We'll spend some time on that. And then Spencer Dinwiddie's name has come up in the buyout market, so we'll get Laker fans' thoughts on that. And then, of course, 2/8/24, the unveiling of the Kobe statue. Just what we think of the statue and what we thought of the entire day. So we got a lot to get into. So appreciate you guys tuning in. If you got some comments, throw it in the comments. I'll do my best to get to them. If you throw in a super chat, I'm 100% going to get to it. If you have yet to subscribe to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. Sammy, the intern, he worked yesterday. And then now apparently, I think, just basically asked for like a 2-week vacation. He can't work tonight's game. Sammy, you just started 2 days ago. You need time off now? I think he basically submitted he needs 2 weeks off. It's the holidays for him. No Sammy tonight, so I'm on my own tonight. Okay, let's talk a little bit about the game. So Lakers lose to the Nuggets, 114-106, the final score. I knew the Lakers were going to have trouble because it was the Denver Nuggets. I knew the Lakers were going to have trouble when they announced that D'Angelo Russell was not going to play in the game tonight. You know, that's going to be an issue in itself without D'Lo, especially because the Lakers need every single player that they have is so critical right now, just based on the Lakers and their situation and their predicament. There's a lot of times they're inconsistent. They need all these players night to night. So not to have D'Angelo Russell left knee soreness, I don't know how much that had to do with the procedure that he did, whatever procedure that went down. What were we talking about that? Was that earlier today or was that yesterday? It might have been yesterday. But nonetheless, D'Lo's not there. Vando's not there. You're missing some guys, and you're already taking on the Denver Nuggets, who didn't have KCP, so keep that one in mind because KCP is obviously an important player for them. But put all that into consideration, and you knew tonight was going to be challenging. Here's what didn't help for the Lakers tonight. Jamal Murray, 29, 11, and 7. Nikola Jokic, 24, 9, and 13. And Michael Porter Jr., 11 of 20 from the field, 27 and 8. That's a lot of points from 3 players. And you still have Aaron Gordon gave you 11 points. So 4 guys in double figures, but you had 3 dudes hovering around the mid-20s or close to 30. That's tough to beat a Denver Nuggets team when you got 3 guys dominating the way those 3 players were. And here's the reality, too, of the Lakers. They basically played from behind the entire game. Lakers didn't play awful. They did not play awful. So For those that want to be incredibly upset with the Lakers' performance, I don't know if tonight's the one that we should be bitching and complaining like we should after they get blown out by the Rockets or the Atlanta Hawks or some of these other games that they've had. I think tonight was just, you almost had to play perfect basketball against the Denver Nuggets if you were going to win. Denver could very easily win their second championship in a row. That could happen. That's not a shock. That's not a surprise. It's a very realistic predicament for them that they end up with their second championship in 2 years. So, you got to play perfect basketball. If you're allowed, I was talking about this in the pregame show, Jamal Murray for me is just everything for the Nuggets. Everything. If Jamal Murray is scoring north of 25, it's really, really tough to beat the Denver Nuggets. There was a stat during the game, Billy Mack had said it, and I can't remember off the top of my head if that point total was 25. I can't remember what it was, but it was something that was talking about how dangerous they are when Jamal Murray scores a certain amount of points. I do, when I'm doing the pregame show, we do something called an X Factor. And on the X Factor, I just kept talking about Jamal Murray. I'm like, listen, Murray's the guy. Because if he gets going, Jokic is going to get his. And if Jamal Murray's going to ball out, all right, well, either he's going to get the double-digit dimes or he's going to get the 30 points. You can't get both. He had 29 and 11. By the way, on top of that, 7 rebounds. And still shot efficiently from the field, just under 50% from the field, hit 5 threes. He went on that 5-0 run by himself. And, Lakers were battling the entire game. They were basically running uphill. At one point, Denver had a 15-point lead. Lakers would knock it down, get it back to 10. Denver would get it back up to 12 or 13. Lakers would knock it down, and it was 8. Back up to 11 or 12, they get it down to 6. And I give the Lakers a lot of credit. They chipped away. That third quarter was their best quarter. They only gave up 24 points, and they scored 30. I don't think the Lakers were overly sloppy in this game. They've actually had some games here, a stretch here where a turnover basis, they've been really, really good with the ball. Only 7 turnovers. They did get out-rebounded a ton until Jackson Hayes came in. 3-point shooting, it was 14-8. So there's, plus 18 for the Denver Nuggets right there. But it was just a constant battle to just get the game back to even. Down 6 at the end of the first quarter, down 10 at halftime. Like I said, it was a constant battle just to get the game back to even. And when you're playing a really, really, really good Denver Nuggets team, you got to be basically flawless to beat them when you're missing a couple of guys, when you're already down by 10 at halftime. That's just really challenging. And again, I'll go back to this because I haven't even looked at the Laker. I have looked at it, but I haven't gone through it with you guys. It's not like the Lakers played awful. They didn't. I thought there was a lineup in there, including Jackson Hayes, and Rui Hachimura was part of that group as well. You had some nice hustle plays from the Lakers that kept them in the game, that they chipped away from the deficit. But overall, just not good enough to beat the Denver Nuggets. Anthony Davis, 32 and 9, had 4 blocks, 3 steals. You can't ask for anything more from Anthony Davis. Took almost 28 shots, took 27 shots, which is, I like seeing that from him. Bron got you 25, 7, and 9. 9 of 20 from the field. Hit a couple of threes in a row, but was only 2 of 6 from the three-point line. Really, the players offensively that hurt the Lakers, you didn't get anything from Rui offensively. You just didn't. And this is kind of the, this is the up and down with Rui Hachimura, who played 38 minutes tonight. So I don't want to hear anybody saying, well, he's not getting enough PT. He got the PT tonight. He played a ton of minutes, was just 1 of 5 from the field. So you really didn't get any offense from him. Max Christie, before he got injured, was 2 of 7. Some plays he looks comfortable, hit a couple of threes. Other plays he gets to the basket, you could tell he's hesitating, and he's a second-year player. And then Austin Reeves just really didn't have an efficient offensive night. And I know people just want to look at, he's 6 of 16. He couldn't hit any threes. He was 2 of 7 from the 3-point line. He wasn't awful in the sense that he got 10 assists for the Lakers. So he was still setting up other guys, and 15 points on the offensive end. So ultimately, this is how I would best describe this Lakers loss. When you're down 10 at halftime against the Nuggets, you're already going to be in such an uphill climb. You got to play perfect basketball. A couple of guys just, played major minutes but weren't efficient or just didn't do enough offensively. And the Lakers continue to get depleted. They're depleted as far as the roster goes, but nobody cares. They're going to try to take advantage of that, and the Nuggets did tonight. I don't think the Lakers were terrible tonight, but obviously not good enough to beat a good Denver Nuggets team. Okay, let's take a look at some of these comments here real quick. See what we got here. It's tax season in the U.S. The Lakers tax is real. I think what you're referring to there is the tax for them to go make some deals. Don't worry, I'm gonna talk all NBA trade down. I'm gonna talk about the results. Pelinka, got to listen to him for about 15 minutes, so we're gonna get into all that stuff, but that part is fair. Great game, just didn't like the decisions at the end. We almost had them. Now they're still talking shit. I didn't hear anything that they said, and I got to be honest with you. When you win, you can talk. I just don't know what they said. So if you guys got some details, if Denver was talking, feel free to put it on there. Francis Mendoza, Denver knew what to do down the stretch, and we don't. Hey, winners win. Winners find a way to win. I mean, it's kind of crazy. My cousin texted me during the game. He's like, what the hell just happened here? He's like, in 15 seconds, Lakers just went from a tie game to down 10. It happened like this. Literally, it happened like this. I'm trying to think. Was it Jackson Hayes that kept one of the plays alive and then it ended up in Austin Reeves? Or no. It was the Jackson Hayes block on one side that would have put Denver up 5. Lakers get the ball, bring it down on the other end. Reeves hits a 3. It was a 5-point switch, and the game is tied. And then Jamal Murray, like this, 5-0 run. What do you get? A bucket first and then a 3. I think it was a bucket, then a 3. Could have been a 3 and a bucket. And then the Michael Porter Jr. Corner shot, and that's your ball game. And listen, I kind of like the comment here. Denver knew what to do down the stretch, and we don't. Yeah, they made it happen. Those last 2 minutes, Denver showed us why they are the champs. We still got a lot of work to do. Let's get another one here. Love the energy from Jackson Hayes tonight. He was huge. Wish we clamped down more on D late, but Nuggets team is tough. Thank you, Bill. I appreciate the comment there. Yeah, that's the class of the league right now. If I told you give me your 3 best teams in the NBA, Denver's in there. If I told you give me your top 2, Denver's in. I mean, Denver's the team to beat. It's the one everybody's changing. Max Anderson, thank you for the super. Sasha update. No updates. No updates. But thank you for the super. Appreciate that. Okay, let me get more of these comments in here. Why does it always feel like we lose in big historic moments like LeBron taking the scoring record and now Kobe's statue day? Yeah, I don't know. I could add to that as well. Yeah, who'd they lose to? OKC? I think they lost to OKC on the statue day. All right, let's see what else we got here. Somebody's saying the Nuggets weren't even trying. I don't know. They're beatable on the road. I think coming into this game, what were they? I was looking at their record, 14-12 on the road, something like that. They're beatable on the road. They definitely are beatable on the road. All right, see a couple more of these comments here. A lot of comments here. A lot of comments tonight. Okay, let's keep going here. More injuries for the Lakers. So I heard that a lot. You know, the theme of that in the post game. I think there's a couple ways to look at it. Um, I think if you're a Laker fan out there and you just want to ignore the injuries and just say, that's BS, every team has injuries. If you want to do that, you can, but I don't think you could tell the story of the Lakers this season without also talking about how they just can't get everybody healthy. They just can't. There can't be extended periods of time where you feel like, okay, hey, they got a 15-game stretch here where most of their players are available, and then let's kind of gauge if they're able to get into some kind of rhythm or not. You can't tell the story of the Lakers through 51 games, or no, I'm sorry, through 53 games without talking about how disjointed the lineups have been because of the injuries. Now, you also can't tell the story of the Lakers without saying how inconsistent they've been, how Jekyll and Hyde they've been, how up and down they've been, how one day they look like one team, the next day they look like the other. All those are true. But the injury stuff is also true. They almost had to have D'Angelo Russell in this game to beat the Denver Nuggets. I know that sounds kind of funny because last year in the playoffs, they actually would rarely put him in because it was the opposite. they thought he was obviously hurt in the squad. And this is just kind of what the Lakers season has been. Gabe Vincent's played 5 games this year. D'Lo missed a little bit of time. Actually, let me go to this here real quick. I want to look at this. And I'm okay with it. Laker fans are going to sit there and they're going to say, oh, you're making excuses. No, these are not excuses. This is just the reality of the situation for the Lakers. Do other teams have injuries as well? Absolutely, they do. Are the Lakers playing down to their competition in some games? Some games playing up to their absolutely. But I'll tell you the injuries that I'm talking about, okay? Rui has missed about 15 games. No, 14 games. Okay. Cam Reddish has missed about 18 games. Gabe Vincent has only played in 5 games. Vando has played in a little bit more than half of the games. They've had some guys just in and out of the lineup. It has not gone smoothly, and there's never really been a time where you felt like everybody's available or most of the guys are available. Now, you're still going to lose ground in the standings. Nobody cares that you have guys that are up and or in the lineup and out of the lineup. And if I'm also going to make a case that these guys have missed times or missed games, LeBron's played in all but 6 games. AD has played in all but 4 games. D'Angelo has played in all but 4 games. Austin Reeves has played in every game. So if you want to call it their top 4 players, those guys have been available and the Lakers still have lost. So again, I think the injuries tell part of the story. They don't tell the full story. But damn, team also can't really catch a break, in my opinion. They have not been able to catch a break. So that part has been frustrating this season. No question about it. It's been frustrating. Okay, a couple more of these comments here on this. It kills me how the Lakers avoid giving AD the ball at the end of big games like this. Playing hero ball is not how to do it. Okay. You're not wrong there. There's a lot of times where I don't feel like that's the case. No practice and cannot stay healthy. I can't. Facts over feelings. So your thoughts on the statue. I'm going to get into all that. Don't worry. We're going to still talk about the trade deadline. We're going to give our thoughts on the statue. Don't worry. All that stuff's going to come. I just want to get this game kind of out of the way before I do that. Denver does what they do. What they did to the Lakers tonight is what they do to everyone. Not too deflated. I'll take the kind of play against the rest of NBA. All right. That's probably good enough there as far as this game tonight. So if you guys got any other comments, I'll try to get into it. But Lakers hang with the Nuggets. Nuggets pull away at the end. So no other way to put it there. Okay. I want to couple things I want to get into. The next thing I want to talk about is you guys want me to talk about Kobe next or the trade deadline? Which one do you guys want? First 1 to 5. You guys remember when I used to do that? First 1 to 5. Kobe, trade deadline. Kobe, trade deadline. Which one do you guys want? I'll do either one. Just put it in the comments. First 1 to 5. I'm going to roll with the punches with whatever you guys end up picking there. Okay, Underdog Fantasy, proud partner right here of Hoops Talk and the channel. Very, very, very happy to have them a part of this channel. I got to make my picks here. So let's make my picks together. I'm going to pick some games for tomorrow. By the way, you use that code HoopsLA. They're going to match your first deposit of up to $100. Do the pick'ems, which is right here. Do pregame, which is a game for tomorrow. Go NBA because that's kind of what we do on this channel. Here are the games tomorrow. Atlanta at Philly, Washington at Boston, Houston, Toronto, or Charlotte at Milwaukee. All these games are trash tomorrow. Let's go Houston, Toronto. Let's see here. I just want to take points. Okay, Sengun, higher or lower than 25.5 points? I'm going to go lower, even though he's a baller. I give that guy a lot of credit. RJ Barrett, higher or lower than 21.5 points? Let's go higher on that one. That's how easy it is. If you guys play daily fantasy sports, I encourage you to play Underdog Fantasy. Support the channel. Support a partner here on the channel. The code's HoopsLA. If you use that code HoopsLA, you get $100 first deposit match. You put $100 in, you'll have $200 in your account. You put $50 in, you have $100 in your account. Use that code HoopsLA. Here are my picks for tomorrow. Sengun and RJ Barrett. I'm going to put $20 on this. You guys see what it looks like there. I'll play it. Confirm. My picks are in. That easy. That freaking easy. Okay. I got to look here. We got to tally this up. Kobe or trade deadline? Kobe. All right. Kobe. 1, 2, 3. Trade for 3, 4. 1, 2, 5 to 2. Kobe. Everybody wants Kobe, so we're going to go Kobe. All right, let me talk about Kobe here real quick. A lot of people are asking about the. Let me kind of just walk you guys through the day here real quick because I think there's a lot that goes into it. How the hell they keep this thing under wrap? I had no freaking idea. You know, I spent a lot of time on radio doing my show, whether it's Lakers Talk or the Travis and Sliwa show. I spent a lot of time over the last couple of days just kind of guessing and talking. Hey, which one do you think? Is it the pose where Kobe shows his heart? Is it the pose where Kobe's walking off the court? Is it the pose where it's Kobe on the scores table with his hands out, right? Or winning the 5. We know where he's showing the 5 there. There were a lot. Is it going to be an iconic Kobe fadeaway? And we kind of went through all of them. And today I'm doing the show with Trav, and we're sitting there. I'm like, how the hell they keep this thing under wrap? This is incredible that they kept this thing under wrap. As we're getting a little bit closer to the unveiling happening, I was actually not at the unveiling. I was at Crypto and watching it actually on their Jumbotron. They actually was playing it on the Jumbotron just a couple minutes before it even started. Bron's out there warming up. It was actually kind of interesting, you know. There I am inside of crypto.com arena, and I'm about to, watch this unveiling on the Jumbotron. and Bron is out there warming up, shooting, getting ready for the game. But by the time it started, I had curiosity. Who's going to talk? What's this thing going to look like? I really, really wish Shaq talked. He did not talk. I really, really wished Powell would have talked. He did not talk. So those were just, two players that I thought would talk that did not talk. I think Shaq had the TNT stuff obviously going on, but I wish they figured out a way that Shaq would talk. And Pau Gasol is, just his relationship. But whatever. Those two didn't talk. I was hoping that they would. My favorite of all the speeches, and maybe I'm biased here because I just love me some Phil Jackson, and I know what he meant to the organization. Phil talking and having the stories about Kobe. If you guys didn't see this, so it's funny. I follow Mark Madsen on Twitter, and this might have been my favorite story of the night, where Phil Jackson's talking about Kobe and his leadership style and how much that he wants Kobe to eventually become this leader. And he tells the story. I'm going to read the quote. Phil Jackson's telling the story. He says, Jay Leno was trying to make humor. He said, who's the guy? This is, by the way, the team after they won the championship was on the whatever show it was, late night show. I don't know the shows. Late night show, let's call it. This is a quote from Phil Jackson. Jay Leno was trying to make humor. He said, who's this guy who was never in a uniform but always dressed, who was sitting behind you? Kobe said, don't make fun of that. That's Adam Morrison. He's one of our teammates. He puts in the work. He may not get to dress, but he puts in the work. He's part of our team. And then Phil Jackson says at the end, and then I knew that's when I was the proudest of Kobe, because Kobe became that leader. It just Phil's speech. And then that was it. Phil was done with his speech. He was fantastic, as he always is. So you got to hear these people talk. The way they set up this huge tent, it literally took over LA Live. Security was crazy of how you can't let people get in there. And then it came to Vanessa Bryant, and she was ready to kind of explain how we got to this point and why this specific this specific statue was chosen. And she explained that this is a statue that Kobe picked, 19 feet high. The pose is what Kobe picked. 4,000-pound bronze statue. It obviously is from him scoring the 81-point game against the Toronto Raptors when he walks off the floor. For the record, Kobe picked the pose you're about to see. That's what Vanessa Bryant said. He's wearing the number 8 jersey. And, for those who, whatever your opinion is of it, I personally love it. I love it. I think it's great. I think, we can all nitpick of which one to pick. Kobe picked that one. I think Vanessa explaining, who knows? Probably when Kobe retired, already that conversation was starting to be had between the Lakers and him, or maybe he was just having the conversation of, hey, when I get my statue out there, this is what I want it to look like. I love it. I really do. I think it's amazing. I think the biggest news that nobody had any idea of, or I don't think a lot of people had that much of an idea of, he's going to have 3 statues. You're thinking to yourself, how can this thing be different? Okay, well, Magic's got a statue out there, and think about all the different Kareem, Gretzky, there's Oscar De La Hoya, there's Chick Hearn, there's Elgin Baylor, there's Shaq, there's Jerry West. There's a lot of people that already have statues out there. But it was impossible that they were not going to find a way to do something different for Kobe. And the way that they're going to do that, and it was Vanessa Bryant who mentioned it, there's going to be 3 statues in total. Him and Gianna, and then him and Gigi, and then another one in the 24 uniform. Obviously, this was in the 8 uniform. This is what they call Staples Center back in the day, is the house that Kobe built. And the way Vanessa Bryant explained it, that there's going to be, it sounds like there's going to be one in each one of those entrances. I think there's three main entrances, and that's how they're going to do it. So you're going to have three Kobe statues. Um, I had the pleasure in the pregame show to bring on legendary Lakers color commentator Stu Lance. I brought him on in the pregame show. He emceed this thing, and he was telling Michael Thompson, I think, when they're going to release the other one will be on Kobe Day, which is 8/24, so August 24th. I believe that's what Stu had mentioned. So, we'll see what happens. I don't know if it would make sense for that to happen, but Kobe will eventually have three statues. So, pretty special. I thought the day was special. I really did. I thought it was a pretty cool thing to watch. I thought it was a pretty special day around a player that there's a lot of anticipation for this. And to be honest with you, we're kind of coming to the conclusion of what else you can do for Kobe. So we just got to kind of appreciate and enjoy these moments when they're happening. But if you really do think about it, he had his jerseys retired. The tragic helicopter crash happens. And, we obviously all have to kind of deal with what those couple of weeks were and the memorial and all that stuff that went down. And then since then it was, all right, well, Powell's going to get his jersey retired. And when Powell gets his jersey retired, that's going to kind of have that connection again because the Kobe and Powell connection. But this is one of the few things that remain where it's going to be something dedicated to Kobe, because even 8/24, which is Kobe Day, it's in the off season. So this is going to be one of the, kind of important things left. And tonight I thought was, I don't think they're going to do it like this when they put up the other, statues. I don't think so, but I could be wrong. If it is on 8/24, it's in the off season, so naturally it would be a little bit different. Okay, let me see some of your comments here. But look, if you guys were looking for me on here to come in and basically say I hate it, I don't like it, I don't think why there doesn't make sense why they're doing that. You're probably not going to get that from me. You know what I mean? I think it was beautiful. I do. I think it was awesome. Are they going to nail it perfectly? Probably not. I don't know what we were all expecting. Maybe you had a different pose, but again, I go back to this. If that's the statue that Kobe wanted, then I don't know. I don't think I don't really have anything to say to that. And I genuinely like it. Now I'm looking forward to tomorrow. When I'm out there tomorrow, I got my show in the morning, and the show starts at 10 a.m. So I'll be kind of having a glance out there of what it looks like and what are they doing, because they're going to open it up to the public starting at 10 a.m. tomorrow. All right, let's see what we got here. Read some of your guys' comments. You guys can feel free to let me know what you guys think of it. All right. Somebody put something on here that I think is interesting. Second statue 8/2/24, third on 8/24. Or they just do both maybe on 8/24. I don't know. I genuinely don't know. So we'll have to wait to see. I've been telling my friends this is the last few great moments we get to honor Kobe besides Kobe Day, but you really got to enjoy these moments. It's the truth. I think one of the cool things I saw somebody in the comments here say, is 3 statues too much? Are they doing too much for him? You got to do something more for Kobe. You just do. Because he played for the Lakers for 20 years, and many would say he's the greatest Laker of all time, and I can't disagree with that because of his body of work and the 20 years. And B, he's so iconic and legendary, and he passed away in a helicopter crash. Like the with his daughter and 8 other people. It's Yeah, I don't know what to tell you. Like it's a tragedy, and I think he's such a legendary figure across the world, and especially in LA. I think it's actually the proper way to. I never thought of multiple statues, and when she said it, when Vanessa Bryant said it, I was like, yeah, I like it. Makes sense. All right, I'm just double checking one thing. 9 people total on the plane. I think I said 10, but it was 9 people. Okay, let me read a couple more of these comments and we'll get to the trade deadline stuff. Some people not feeling the statue. I wanted the standing on the table statue. Well, that would be number 24, so that's still, that could still be there. That could be the other one that's out there. Should have been more statues. 3 is an honor I don't think anyone will ever have. Love the amount they chose. My jaw dropped when Vanessa announced it. Now it's going to be at every entrance, everywhere you go. Literally everywhere you go is where every entrance that you go in from, you'll be represented by a statue. And what's going to make the other 2 more unique is no statues over there. All the statues are in that plaza right in the front there. You don't have it on the other side. Okay. You guys can feel free to comment as much as you guys want. So feel free to do that. But I'm gonna keep going here because there are a couple more things that I want to get into. Okay. I'll go back to some of those comments. So trade deadline comes and goes. Lakers make no move. Nada. Rob Pelinka talked 5 o'clock. He talked, and he probably talked for about 15 minutes. So I was there for that. One of the quotes he says, "You can't buy a house that's not for sale." I actually like that quote. And that's a good quote right there. Basically, what Pelinka said was to kind of sum up what he said. It's not that the Lakers weren't interested in making a deal, but they didn't feel like there was a deal out there that was going to have a real impact. I think what he was saying was this: how much of an upgrade is DeJounte Murray from D'Angelo Russell? And if it's a marginal upgrade, I think it's an upgrade. But is it a big enough upgrade to where you're saying, hey, it's okay, mortgage the future? They got a real shot at going to win an NBA championship now. If they felt it was a big difference, then I think the Lakers would have made a move. But it sounded like, and it's not just the Lakers, there's a lot of teams out there that certainly need to improve their roster and did not improve their roster. There's a lot of teams out there that kind of they stood pat. And I get where he's coming from. Now, I think one of the things that Rob Pelinka is doing here is he's putting a ton of pressure on the Lakers. I mean, 2 things here. One thing is, I don't want to say he's saying that they, he's giving up on this year. I think he's just trying to make a business decision where he feels like I'm not going to make a move just to make a move. I need to make a move knowing that we have a chance to compete with everybody else. So this is one of his quotes. We didn't want to shoot a small bullet now that would only lead to very marginal improvement at the expense of making a much bigger and impactful move potentially in June or July. So with that in mind, I completely 100% see where he's coming from. But that puts a lot of pressure on Rob Pelinka on the front office to make sure they swing and they connect in the offseason. They're going to have 3 first-rounders that they can work with, so that's going to help. They're going to definitely have some contracts D'Angelo Russell, Rui Hachimura, Austin Reeves. There's definitely some contracts on the books that can help total a trade that you're looking for to go get a bona fide star. Donovan Mitchell, use that as an example. But you need so many things to go your way in order for something like that to happen. And it's so public now that this is what the Lakers, they're going to shift their attention to the offseason that, there's not much poker here. It's the Lakers are going to try to go all in the summer. Everybody's going to know they're going to need to go all in the summer. Everybody knows the assets that they have. And then it's a matter of having everything just kind of line up and hoping that there's some disgruntled stars out there, and then you can make your move. They are the Lakers. They have always found ways to make their moves. But I do think it puts a ton of pressure on Pelinka because you didn't make a trade at the trade deadline, which I don't completely disagree with. If there wasn't a deal out there that you thought was going to really make a big difference, then I understand it. I get it. Now, what does that do with your relationship with LeBron James? I'm not sure. But again, if you don't feel like there's a deal out there that makes sense for your franchise, then don't make it. That I think he said this a couple times. Sometimes no move is the right move. I don't disagree with him. Sometimes no move at times can be the right move. So I don't completely disagree with Pelinka's strategy. But here's the bottom line. The Lakers walked into this season thinking that they got a chance to build off of the Western, getting to the Western Conference Finals. Everybody wanted continuity, so that's what they did. They thought this was the best thing to do, and they brought everybody back. And here we are with a healthy LeBron and a healthy Anthony Davis, and the Lakers only one game over 500, and their plan's not working. Now, if you want to say, well, the plan, we don't know if the plan's working because guys have been in and out of the lineup. Yeah, I don't know what to tell you. Then they're going to have to figure it out internally, obviously. Their best chance of improving at this point is just going to be with what they got internally. There's no other way to put it. But I'm going to go back to what I said a little bit earlier. The pressure now on the Lakers this offseason, especially depending on how the rest of the season closes out, everyone now is going to expect, okay, well, Pelinka, you said you were going to, you have 3 picks and you wanted to kind of kick the can down the road. You better connect. I think that's what a lot of people are going to be saying. All right, let's take a look at some of your comments here. All right, see what we got. I don't understand no move. Try a marginal one. The Lakers seem close versus Denver like tonight. You get a shooter, and it just might push you over them at least 50-50. I did not think no move was going to happen. Let me put it that way. I thought the Lakers would do something. But they still have a chance to do something because of the buyout market. So I'm going to get to the buyout market in just 2 seconds here. Let me just read a couple more of these. Lakers don't have enough brain in front of that in the front office and ownership. Dodgers have it all. Well, I can't argue. The Dodgers are making moves. But they, even with everything that they've done, they've only cashed in one time since 1988. And but this regime has been really good. The Guggenheim Group, since they took over, they've been, obviously really, really good. But they failed in the playoffs. So something to keep in mind. Need to find a way to enjoy the remainder of the season because we are going to contend. We are going to contend for a title this season, healthy or not. Any of this where to focus our gaze now. I'm not, I'm not completely out on this Lakers season. I'm not. Let's see what this is. Rob Earth. Sixers got Buddy Hield for 3 second-round picks. Pelinka needs to work to sign someone from the buyout pool. All right, let's get into the buyout because I think the buyout is actually one of the questions I asked Rob Pelinka that in the buyout market, was there a specific type of player that he was looking for? And he mentioned that because Gabe Vincent's been out, only played 5 games, And because there's really no backup to D'Angelo Russell, that their number one priority was going to be a backup point guard for D'Lo. I remember they had Dennis Schroeder last year, and they kind of had that to work with. They don't have that luxury. So first option he mentioned was going to be a backup point guard, and he's the second option is best player available to fill up that last roster spot. Then Dave McMenamin put out a tweet. The Los Angeles Lakers are among the front runners to sign guard Spencer Dinwiddie when he clears waivers, sources tell ESPN. The 30-year-old LA native averaged 12 and 6 for Brooklyn this season. Personally, I think Dinwiddie is in the buyout market. That would be a kind of the best that you can do in the buyout market. If you're looking for a backup point guard, that's your backup point guard. He's also somebody that can create for himself. He's also somebody that has the opportunity as far as an offensive threat. He can do what he does. I want to try to find this tweet. Shams Charania put something out a little bit earlier today. Let me see if I could find it here real quick because I think it tells a little bit of a story as well. Basically, that the Raptors are most likely who, they made a trade and Spencer Dinwiddie is on the Raptors. They want to avoid paying $1.5 million or something along those lines that he would make based on, it would be a bonus based on games played. So that's most likely why he's going to eventually get bought out. And also on top of that, I know there's other contenders that are in the market for him as well. So Ian Begley put this out a little bit earlier today. Free agent guard Spencer Dinwiddie is at MSG for Knicks Mavs tonight, sitting behind the Dallas bench. The Lakers and the Mavericks are among teams Dinwiddie is considering signing with, per league sources. He was also obviously a part of the Mavs at one point. So a lot to keep in mind there. Dinwiddie sounds like, a player that the Lakers are going to try to do everything they can to try to sign in the buyout market. So no trade for the Lakers. Trade deadline comes and goes. Rob Pelinka says, you can't buy a house that no one's selling. He also mentions that we held on to our assets because we didn't feel like this was the right time to go all in, or it was just going to be a marginal move. And the only assets they really have is 2029. But flirted with the idea of let's reassess this in the summer. The problem is LeBron is 39 years old, so you don't have too many opportunities to just kick the can down the road, but that might be the predicament and the best situation for the Lakers, which is going to put a lot of pressure on the Lakers to really make some big moves by the time the summer comes. Okay. What do we got here? I guess we get to enjoy LeBron haters and comments. No respect for what he's done in purple and gold. Yeah, the bronze stuff, to be honest with you, a lot of times I kind of just ignore it because I don't know if I fully understand it. Like this, I'll use as an example. Let LeBron go. He has ruined this franchise. Has he? Has he really ruined the franchise? All right. I don't really know what Laker fans want, to be honest with you. I don't fully understand it. But this could be just individuals that are just not fans of LeBron. All right, let's see what else we got here. Ja Green. Lakers have a plan. I trust them. I also think once this team gets healthy, they'll be okay. So this is a good topic. Lance said, how hasn't he? Management does everything to make him happy. Well, then that's not LeBron's fault, then that's your management's fault. Because last I checked, LeBron doesn't own the team. And I think something that you got to understand is, and I don't mind, by the way, I don't mind, you guys can be on the other side of this. That's okay. It's good to have these conversations. Something that you got to understand is, tell me that LeBron doesn't want to win. LeBron wants to win. LeBron, everywhere he's gone, he's put pressure on franchises to want to win. Cleveland, Miami, and here with the Lakers as well. I don't mind that he says, well, I'm not going to tell you what I'm going to do with my player option. It's up to, and the Lakers are kind of the same way. The Lakers go 5 years without winning a championship, and Laker fans are like, this is bullshit. Franchises go 40 years without winning. That's just the what the Lakers have created. This Dr. Jerry Buss created this. Yeah, you're supposed to basically be in the mix almost every single year, which is completely unrealistic. But management, if he's forcing management to do everything to make him happy, or is he forcing management to do things to try to win? And frankly, ultimately at the end of the day, the Lakers didn't make a move this trade deadline. Maybe that means something. I mean, LeBron's the one that sent out the hourglass tweet or whatever, and then what ended up happening? Nothing. They didn't make a move. And maybe LeBron is like, damn, I thought they were going to make a move. If they're playing poker, LeBron could be sitting there like, all right, well, they caught me, Now LeBron can figure out what he wants to do this upcoming summer, if he wants to, stay with the Lakers or he decides to go somewhere else. But I don't mind Pelinka in the front office saying, no, we're not going to do something if we don't feel like it makes sense. We could be frustrated about the team. You could be frustrated about certain players. You could be frustrated at the front office. You could be frustrated at LeBron. But I always get confused when people say, Bron doesn't have the best interest. I don't care if Bron has the best interest of the Lakers. I know that Bron has the best interest of wanting to win, which just naturally helps the Lakers. And for the Lakers, they could kind of look at it the same way. They don't have to have the best interest of LeBron in every decision that they have, but they know LeBron can help them get to where they want to get to. Now he is 39 years old. So it's not the same way as it's been in the past. They answered back by not budging at the trade deadline. Could be right there. So there's some of our answers. Okay, I got to get the hell out of here, guys. 52 minutes in. 53 minutes in. I thought this was going to be like a 30, 35-minute post-game show. No, we had a lot to get into tonight. A lot. Tomorrow, Lakers got the Pelicans coming up. And we know they lost tonight, 114-106. Not going to get much easier tomorrow. I'm going to tell you that right now. If you actually go take a quick look at the standings, Pelicans playing some good ball. Actually beat the Clippers. What was it yesterday, I think? They walked into crypto and beat the Clippers. So Pelicans 30-21. They're 4 full games in front of the Lakers. It's going to be a second of a back-to-back. That's with a lot of these guys playing some, major minutes tonight. Pelicans did not have to play tonight, so they're well rested. Let me see one thing here. I just want to see how many minutes some of these guys played. So what did Braun play tonight minutes-wise? Braun played 35. AD played 38. Rui played 38. Austin Reeves played 36. Torian Prince played 34. I guess the question mark is going to come down tomorrow. Is D'Lo going to be available or not? That's obviously a big deal right there. Did get some good news. Vando looks like he's not going to need surgery. So he's still going to be out for, probably at least a month, or at least until it gets reevaluated. But that's obviously some good news right there. Okay, Lake fans, appreciate it. Thank you for coming on here. Thank you for hanging out. Thank you for your comments. I'll get back with you guys tomorrow after the Lakers take on the Pelicans. Thanks, Lake fans. Hope you guys have a great rest of your night. Appreciate it.